It's that time of the year again. Young adults everywhere are making plans, getting ready to head back to college. Hey, you only live once and you're not getting any younger. These are going to be the best years of your life. You've got nothing to worry about. You're young, so kick it while you can. But first, as always, we start with our mission. Always remember, God created us for this time and for this place. If we learn this faith, if we live this faith, if we share this faith, what will the next 100 years look like? Join the mission. I truly think one of the most significant errors of our time is the divorce between cause and effect. Our ignorance of this relationship, I believe, is at the heart of some of society's biggest debates. We act as if we've completely forgotten that the things that we do produce some kind of result. If we do this, then this may happen. If we do that, then that may happen. This cause and effect relationship is perhaps the most fundamental principle in scientific observation. It's the entire basis for the scientific method. But somehow, by sleight of hand, we have watered down our understanding of causal relationships by substituting them with the concept of probability. Don't worry. You can do whatever you want. There's only a slight chance that you would get pregnant. Actually, the choices that we make produce effects in the world around us. If I'm running late and I choose to speed, yes, I would be more likely to get to work on time, but I may also get a ticket or, God forbid, hurt somebody. In human action, there are the things that we intend to happen, like getting to work on time, and then there are the unintended consequences, like getting a ticket or, God forbid, causing an accident. But even though this principle of cause and effect of intended and unintended consequences is readily accessible, any small child can observe this relationship. But even though, for some reason, when it comes to recreational sex, we feel as if we are empowered to divorce the effect, in this case, the unintended effect of pregnancy, from the cause, intercourse. Because the intent of recreational sex is the immediate pleasure that it brings us, not the pregnancy. So in order to have this pleasure, recreational sex must ignore that this action causes pregnancy. It is how babies are conceived. There is a correlation between this cause and this effect. But instead of admitting that, instead of following the science, we encourage people not to practice self-control, but to practice safe sex, because apparently you're just an animal. You don't have the ability to regulate your behavior. You are not much more than a dog. You have to act out all of your impulses without any consideration, any thought or judgments about what this act might cause. Are there other scenarios? Can you give me other examples? Honest question here. Are there other scenarios in which I am only held responsible for the intended outcomes and I am free of all unintended outcomes, like a get-out-of-jail-free card? For example, if I sign a contract or I invest in a stock and the outcome is not what I intended, can I present my get-out-of-jail card and be freed from the contract or get a refund on my investment? When the cop pulls me over, can I say, not all people who speed choose to get a ticket, and even those who do should not be forced to pay the fine. This essentially shames people for enjoying speeding and makes it all about transportation. Because this ideology is preached by so many to young people who head off to college to have the best years of their life, they're told that they can have their cake and eat it too. And I can't help but to wonder, what is the motivation of so many intelligent so-called progressives to encourage young people in this way, to tell them that they can have all the joys and pleasures of sex without any of the responsibilities that scientifically follow, to present safe sex as a viable method for preventing the effects that naturally follow from this cause? Planned Parenthood admits on their own site that birth control is not a guaranteed method for preventing pregnancy. In other words, they tacitly admit that this causes that. They say, quote, in reality, the pill is about 91% effective. That means about 9 out of 100 pill users will get pregnant each year. Now, this quote is confusing because it implies a causal relationship between your sexual activity, your use of birth control, and 100 other people's sexual activity and use of birth control. But in fact, there is no causal relationship there. If you get pregnant, it's because you were having sex, not because of 100 other people. That statistic of 91% effectiveness cannot refer to a causal relationship among a group of individuals. So if that number is even accurate, I'm taking their word for it. It applies only to your sexual activity, not to anyone else's. So for clarity, that statistic properly applied to your behavior means that of 100 sexual encounters that you might have, you would be likely to get pregnant 9 times. So isn't it the responsibility of older and wiser learned professionals, educated people, so-called health professionals, to warn young people, hey, the science shows that this cause produces this effect? Are these professionals negligent in their duty? When they tell you to go ahead and have your fun, these are the best years of your life. You have nothing to worry about. If by chance the probability doesn't work out in your favor, don't worry. We have ways to take care of that. After all, you're young. You have many years ahead of you. Think of your career. If you are a young person watching this, I've got 2 things to say to you. Recreational sex is destructive to you and those whom you love. You're not a dog. You actually can control yourself. Marriage, on the other hand, is good. It's wonderful. It's not easy. It's a lot of work, but it's wonderful, and it's worth it. Get married. Have kids. Lots of kids. No matter how hard it is, no matter how expensive it is, it's worth it. And that will absolutely be the best time of your life. The kids who got into these vans weren't just leaving home, they were leaving behind the culture of their parents, their values, their traditions, to create a new world, a better world. So what do you think? Did it work? Is this a better world? Or have we become more selfish, more self-absorbed?